5 meters, man. 4. What the hell? Oh my God. Oh, shit.
Give me the light.
I want to give y'all an example of how detached from their audience that some conspiracy theorists are. And I'm going to play a clip for y'all that I played maybe 8 months ago. And this is probably the biggest example of being detached that I've ever heard in all my years of listening to Truth and Conspiracy Theory, folks. And later I'm going to show you something from Stu Peters. And when I get to Stu, or before I get to Stu, I want this clip to pop up in your mind. As a matter of fact, keep this clip in your mind throughout this commentary, however far you're listening to it, because you might not even stay for the whole thing.
And as usual, let's get started with this kind of cool video. So, the title was Stop Buying Food. Why is Major saying stop buying food? Because you gotta start becoming unprogrammed, or deprogramming your mental to where you're your own provider. All it's doing is making people sick. The talk about it, the programming with it, and the constant bombardment of all of these different things and these angles they got gaming on us. This is what it's for. So me saying stop buying food didn't have nothing to do with gold and stuff. That was like a little sideline thing. But stop buying food and start programming. I'm growing my food. I'm making my own. That's why we in this situation right now, because don't nobody make nothing. So if your only intent to eat is I gotta go to the store, you're already in trouble. Oh Major, I live in an apartment and I can't do this and I can't do that. Bull crap. Yes, you can. All you have to do is get you some pots and get you some dirt and start growing you some seeds.
Probably the biggest example of detachment I've ever heard. Not only detached from his audience's lives, but detached from reality and Earth itself.
Quick snack, some strawberries.
Stop going to grocery stores.
Some lettuce, bananas.
Who in the hell is he talking to that wouldn't have to go to the grocery store?
To make salsa.
And him, like I asked the first time I played that clip, I asked, does he go to the store for toilet paper? Or is he out on his property wiping his ass with leaves? You know, because he has some property on a farm-like setting. I've seen it. But what does he wipe himself with? And of course, I don't really want to know about what a man does with his booty hole, but I have a point to make. Because we all know that that man uses toilet paper just like the rest of us, and we don't even know him.
Next activity, 10:03.
An unbelievable, almost surrealist scene is unfolding in this supermarket. These are Himba women. They form part of one of the oldest tribes in Namibia. Normally, they would never leave their territory, but since nothing is growing in the fields, the village chief has sent them shopping for supplies for the whole community.
In the movie Aliens, the crew found out that Burke was hired to set them up, have them impregnated by these things, and Burke was to bring the bodies back to his superiors for study. Dead, of course.
See, we grease this rat fuck son of a bitch right now.
Just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
He figured that he could get an alien back through quarantine if one of us was impregnated, whatever you call it, and then frozen for the trip home. Nobody would know about the embryos we were carrying.
Fuck! He's dead. You're dog meat, pal.
This is so nuts. I mean, listen to what you're saying.
All right, we waste him. No offense.
No! Gotta go back.
Aliens bust into the room just before they were about to hand Burke his ass. Burke manages to flee somehow.
Do something! Get out!
I listen to conspiracy theorists describe how everything is a script and how everything is planned. I listen to them describe how the earth is controlled. I listen to them describe how the few, like Klaus Schwab, George Soros, the Rothschilds, and others, control everything. They describe the global citizenry as being surrounded, which is something that I don't disagree with, by the way.
What do you mean they cut the power? How could they cut the power, man? They're animals. I'll go inside. It's inside the complex. No, it ain't you. You're inside the perimeter. Movement. Can't lock in. Multiple signals. They're closing. I got signals. I got readings in front and behind. Look, I'm telling you, there's something moving and it ain't us.
Surrounded. But they will still speak this notion of fleeing Babylon, getting out of the matrix. And some will say, I've escaped the beast system already. Some have told themselves that. Delusion. To them, everything is orchestrated, except for what they're doing. Everything is a script, except for the things that they believe in, like the Bible. And not just the Bible is just one example. But everything is a script, except for that book written by man. But they won't call that a script, they'll call it prophecy. Everything is by design, and designed by the few, except for the things that they do and the things that they believe in. They'll say everything is surrounded, except for the places that they want to run off to. Me? I say you're not going anywhere. Out on your farm, out to some isolated place in the wilderness somewhere, in your bunker, leave the country, you're not going anywhere.
Damn you, open this door!
Because like I said, I agree that we're surrounded, land, sea, and air. The few has nearly every aspect of our daily lives covered. Food, water, shelter, education, spirituality, damn near everything. And I'm not speaking against preparedness or even living out on the property somewhere, growing some things and doing this and that for oneself. That's not my issue. My issues are with the ones who talk to everybody as if they're not here. And yeah, like I said, get you some land if you can. And even the mindset of defend it till the death is integrable. But
at one point, we were watching TV, and that's when the fire started.
We have what appears to be a fire going on right now, raging at the Branch Davidian compound.
And we were watching it live, and we were all aghast that happened.
But what I'm saying is, you're not going anywhere. And talking like you've escaped already doesn't make it so.
Follow the light to greener pastures. What does that mean?
Let me use politics as an example. Now, something that goes on in politics, one of the reasons that there's so much non-fiction going on is that the politicians can't relate. The people who are in charge of fixing things, they are totally detached from everyday people.
10 numbers.
Right, but I'm not talking about politics or politicians. Let me show you what I mean. Now, Stu Peters, he's going to have a guest on to talk about the train derailment that happened in Ohio a few months ago. And he has another guest waiting in the queue that's listening to what's going on. And when the first guest leaves and the other one comes on, Stu is going to try to drag him into what he was saying to the first guest. But the guest that was waiting, he was listening.
With her own eyes. The other day, she collected some water from a nearby Beaver Creek and brought it home. What she saw horrified her. But we'll let her tell that story herself. And to that end, Kristen Johnson joins us now. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to just talk about it. It's like you want to scream, like someone just like pay attention to East Palestine, Ohio.
Well, first of all, I would just say to you, please don't go back to East Palestine. Don't go through there anymore. You should stay out of there. You're going to die early. We don't want that to happen.
Don't go back. Simple. Told the lady, just don't go back. Totally detached from the people.
You know, it's gone. We, by our research here at this program, we tend to agree that over time, yes, vinyl chloride, which is literally a carcinogen for every single organ in the human body, over months or years or whatever, apparently it dissipates. But these dioxins actually stick around. They cause people to be ill with the flu-like symptoms. You've been violently vomiting, I guess, for a couple of weeks. And every time you go back?
Yeah, when I drive, I'll drive through there. And that's, we put it all together because I'm like, why am I sick some days and not other days? And it's those days that I have to go in that area, either to like drop off my kids or,
Please don't drop your kids off in that area.
No, I have to go to, so right now I'm from Salem and I moved to Coraopolis in Pennsylvania. So I'm on the Ohio River, so it affects me the whole way. My family, everything I knew in, that area. And my kids still, their father's there. So he works in East Palestine.
Told her again, don't go back. Totally detached. Like how dismissive the dude was of people who live in the cities. Like, oh, don't give me them excuses about living in apartments. I ain't trying to hear that. Talking to the people, but can't relate to the people's circumstances. Here's the other guest about to come on.
It is a carcinogen to your entire body, every single organ in it. And now with the introduction of these dioxins, it looks like this is going to go on for a very long time. There's really no way to reverse what they have done here, and these people should be held accountable. But in the meantime, please get out and don't go back. Kristen Johnson, for your firsthand account, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here to explain it to our viewers.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Tom/Stu.
Welcome back. So President Trump was in East Palestine, Ohio yesterday, which was a nice reminder of how Trump can be at his best. We want to learn a lot more about that, of course, and to that end, Eric Coppolino joins us now. Eric, thank you so much for coming back. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Stu.
Did I hit that about right? I mean, I'm no chemist.
A+.
All right. So you're worried that all women and children must get out of there right now.
Initially.
What about all of the people that are, subject to the water and the plume that seems to be expanding across the country?
There's no reason anyone should be there right now other than they have nowhere to go.
Stopped Stu dead in his tracks, didn't he? Stopped him. Being able to relate to other people's circumstances. Told him, you can't just tell people to pick up and go. If they can leave, he said. If they can leave, then leave. That was an example of the, what Stu told to the lady, that's an example of the haughty attitude that I have an issue with. Just don't go back. She said, what do you mean? She said, her everything is here. But he still wasn't trying to hear that. That's why he tried to get the next guest to back him up, but the guest wasn't having it.
Because you got to start becoming unprogrammed or deprogramming your mental to where you're your own provider of some of your food. So
some of your food, he said.
Why don't you just leave
and you know what that means? It means he still goes to the store to buy his food while telling other people to stop. A lot of them say that. A lot of them do that. And there are different versions of some of your food. Like, we need to get out of the matrix as much as possible. That line of garbage is garbage. Because you know what that means? It means that they're still here engaging in the same trappings that the rest of us engage in. But because they've refrained from this, that, or the third, they figure that they can describe the rest of us as trapped in the beast system, and that they can categorize the rest of us as livestock.
But since nothing is growing in the fields, the village chief has sent them shopping for supplies for the whole community. There is one item in particular that the Himbas are not willing to compromise on. Butter is a necessity in their culture.
Because there are some things that you won't compromise, don't mean that you're not still here. Again, they feel that because they do this, but they don't do that, they feel that they've separated already. Some of your food